You're listening to the Just Wins podcast, where we discuss winners, black bookers, and much more. Enjoy the show.
Can he do it? Chautauqua, he's flying! Yes! There's history!
But a champion becomes a legend! Makoni Debra's won it! The pride of Australia is the greatest show on earth.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Just Wins podcast. This is podcast number 15 for Saturday, the 8th of August. Great to be with you again. My name is Just Wins. As always, I'll be hosting the show. I'll shout out to Adam. Are you there, mate?
I am, mate. How are we?
Yeah, good. And Lee, how are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. How you doing, boys?
Yeah, good, mate. Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's rip. We've got a big edition this weekend, so let's go straight into the results from last weekend. Adam, any glory?
No, mate. We got a duck egg back last week in Sydney. It was an awful day at the office. I was fortunate in that I did only have the couple of bets because the way the track played, it was an absolute nightmare there. My best bet was Cordia. Had a good go at him, and on face value he was disappointing, but I'm going to forgive him just due to the way the track played. Give him one more chance on a better surface, hopefully. And yeah, then my Roughie Look Only probably just didn't handle the heavy track. She was beaten quite away, so bit of a disappointing day, mate. But you get them sometimes, so hopefully this week's the one.
That's it. And you've had a bit of a rough trot with the heavy tracks down there, but going by the forecast, it's not likely to change anytime soon. So
no, it'll be heavy again. But anyway, I think the positive for me this week is we got Rosehill. It's Randwick where the main problems are. It's a shocking surface at the moment. They need to do something quick because it's only really 2 months before we see Epsom Handicap Day, Everest. So they need to sort that out quick, smart, or they're going to have an embarrassing carnival.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be embarrassing, but I was just reading before that the Victorian horses have been canned from New South Wales, so that'll affect the Everest, won't it?
Yeah, there'll definitely be a few good horses missing, but yeah, I suppose with the current times, that's a smart decision to make, I suppose. So just have to roll with it.
Yeah, and then probably Nature Strip will just bolt in anyway, so it won't matter. Anyways, wait and see. Lee, how did you go, mate? You've got Al Galil, I see.
Yeah, got it up first. Funny thing is, one of the followers actually messaged me and said it was the only one of mine he didn't get on. So as soon as he said that, I just knew nothing else was going to come with the day. But anyway, we got El Galil up, and then winning partner just missed, thankfully, for the lay of the day. And then everything else around that was pretty ordinary. Pans Down was beaten by a good winner. It's one of my horses to watch and follow is that the horse that beat it by 5.5 and it just brained them. It was brilliant. It's called Clairvoyant. So I think it can definitely get into the carnival this year and win some good quality races in the 3-year-olds and that sort of thing. It looked really, really good winning. So it's definitely one to follow, but not good for my back pocket on the weekend.
That's all right. You got that lay bet up, luckily, and I see also Adam got his lay bet up, even though it was a bit of a stitch up, drifted out to $6 or something.
Mate, a win's a win, mate.
A win's a win. All right. For myself, I didn't have to look far for my tips, and I was happy I didn't. Socialising did the right thing. I think it's going to be one of those things in the. I'd love to follow or get some data on it. How many odds-on pops from the Golan yard get rolled and then come out the week after? Not saying anything's funny. I think sometimes they just get overbet, but we'll see in the future. Socialising was definitely one of those. Mr. Bellagio, I thought he should have won, obviously, but I think he only lost by a length and a bit, and he wasn't disappointing, just didn't get the result. Maybe he doesn't like Eagle Farm, not sure, but I'm sure next time if the money's on, he'll be winning because he's thereabout against. And Pikey delivered with Serenity Bay at Belmont. Yeah, put everything into it and got the job done on the line, so I was happy with that. Our Roughie was scratched, probably pretty luckily. And the lay of the day, Stuttering, ran fourth after missing the starter touch. Actually ran quite well considering things went wrong with it, and is quite a good horse. Just wasn't meant to be on that Saturday. But we will get into our usual segments in the lay of the day, Roughie Roulette. But to start with, boys, anything to follow from the weekend? I didn't see anything.
For me, mates, not much either. I was just wanting to, I'll make mention, Lee was probably going to say something, but obviously it was good to see Brooklyn Hustle put that performance together. We haven't really seen that from her since I think it was her first or second start. So hopefully she can live up to the hype. But I was just going to mention the jockey to follow. It was good to see, even though he let me down the week prior, it was good to see Tommy Sherry boot home his first Metropolitan winner last week with Full Mina. I'm going to be on him in a couple of bets this week to keep it rolling. So he's a good young rider, and I'm pretty sure he'll measure up to the top grade in the future. So good to see him produce that last week.
Yeah, he atoned himself for that Black Magnum ride, but it wasn't really his fault, that ride. It was just the track bias on the day. And yeah, Brooklyn Hustle was quite impressive. I'll just be interested to see how she goes away from Moonee Valley, because she seems to be a bit of a gun there. Even though her, the old get back and run home doesn't really suit at the Valley, but yeah, it's a good sign for the prep ahead. Yeah, Lee, Darwin Cup, is that a mention?
Oh, how good was it to him?
One of the greats.
Awesome.
The old grey fella.
I actually saw someone put a photo up of it to him winning the Group 1 back in the day, and at the time it was a bay horse, so a nice brown texture, and over the years has turned into a grey, so a bit of a chameleon. And it was good to see the jockey was nice and emotional after for the Darwin Cup.
Yeah, for sure. Well, he would have gone over there, and I'm assuming, I don't know what the rules are between Darwin and WA, but I would have thought he probably would have had to quarantine just for the ride. So, yeah, big result from that. I wonder how many horses win in their 3-year-old year and then win post 9 or 10. I don't think there's many, because
there's a difference
the Guineas or something like that.
Yeah, and there's a difference between winning, as a 10-year-old out in the bush somewhere compared to a Darwin Cup. So, he's got heaps of guts. That it's a him. And I was listening to the radio this morning, and they said they had a couple of issues with him getting into that race, obviously being an older horse, and he was just able to fight through it the whole way, and he's just all guts. So, massive.
Yeah, carried 61.5 kilos as well. So,
yeah, huge win. Yeah. Anything else from the Metros, Lee?
No, just a clairvoyance from me, mate.
All right, clairvoyance rates highly with Lee. All right, Group 1 banter we haven't had for a few weeks, but let's get back into it because we have the Group 2 Missile Stakes in Sydney. Adam, do you want to start us off with your thoughts on the race?
No worries, mate. It's a good race to kick off. Obviously we're not in spring yet, but this is the carnival horses coming back into action. So, a good field to start us off. Good competitive field, and hopefully can find some value there too. The track's definitely going to be wet. It's a soft 7 now, so they're expecting. Well, they reckon there's a 100% chance of rain on Friday and a chance of a storm on Saturday. So I'll be surprised if it's not in the heavy rain. So I think we'll need a wet tracker. But yeah, hopefully the track does race fairly this week. The rail's in the true position, so I'm pretty confident everything will get their chance. The one I'm going to go with, I'm thinking that most of these horses, this is just a starting point for them. They're not going to be at their peak. So I'm thinking that Joe Pride has found the key with Eduardo. He's rejuvenated him, so I'm going to go for him to go back-to-back here. That win first up was a tough win on pace over the 1100 at Rosehill on the soft 7. He kicked strong and held off Roheran and Glenall. I'm pretty sure he'll bring that performance to the races again this week, and he seems to have a good chance of leading this. And I think the only other thing that'll go forward is probably special reward from a wide gate, but I can't see them wanting the lead. So I'm pretty sure Eduardo will have the lead to himself, and hopefully he can kick away and put him to the sword. He loves the wet too. Obviously, as I said, soft 7 last start. but he has had a heavy start before, and it was actually his maiden back a couple of years ago, or quite a few years ago actually. He won it by 6 lengths, so I'm pretty sure the wet track won't pose a problem.
Yep, sticking with that Eduardo there, you're having each way or just straight out at 480.
There's $2 available to place,
Yeah.
mate. And as being a competitive race, I'm going to go 3/4 of a unit each way, please.
Righto, yeah. There's $2 on Bet365 at the moment for Eduardo at 0.75 units each way. Lee, you steering that way or somewhere else?
I'm steering home, mate. I'm just steering away from that race in general. I think there's probably 4 or 5 that could win it. Majority of them are first up. They've all got class in their side. I just couldn't get a read on it. So I'm going to stay out of that one.
Righto, Lee is not partaking in the Group 1 banter. Fair enough. It is an open race, and I think as Adam pointed out, there's a lot of rain to come. And the forecast I've seen, it's actually quite scary. It looks like the whole day could be written off. So you never know how many scratchings will happen in the interim. But I'm going to go with a horse at $20, or it's actually $26. And so therefore, I'm going to use it as a Roughie Roulette as well. Is that okay, boys?
Sounds good to me, mate.
All right, we'll go into it. I'm going for Cascadian at $26 and $6 a place, just for half a unit each way. As Adam pointed out, there's a lot of horses that are probably going to progress in later stages. Even the likes of Melody Bell needs it second up or further. But just looking at last year's Missile Stakes race, a lot of these good horses that are backing up from the Doncaster, they seem to run a good race first up. This horse, Cascadian's a quality import and has a solid first up record. Last prep was beaten only 0.4 of a length by Special Reward over this distance, and Special Reward's about that $10 marker, I'm pretty sure.
That's right.
$10. Cascadian, not disgraced on the heavy either. The Doncaster run was heavily interfered and really never got a crack in the straight, so complete forgive. And the other time I ran on a heavy was in the Ajax Group 2, running third, beaten 2.3 lengths. Goes well at this track, has a pretty good record, and hopefully the rail is off on Saturday with all the rain around, because it's most likely going to sit last, and we'll probably see Glyn Schofield right over the top of him and get home. What do you reckon, boys? Glyn over the top?
Your mate Glyn, eh?
I will say, Blake, I do give it a chance. Just Glyn was my concern. So,
He rode a winner last week. It was a pretty good horse. I think it was in the last race as well. So he
has a good record on Cascading. He has rode it to a victory before, so he knows the horse, mate. And definitely over the odds.
Over the odds. Lara Main would be another one, but I just don't know how well he's going to go. I think he's 8 or 9, but you never know these days. He's still a bit of a trooper. But anyways, that is the Missile Stakes. Adam was race 7. He's on Eduardo, the favourite, at $4.80 and $2 for 0.75 units each way. Lee's going to look around it, and I am getting on Cascadian, and it's going to be my Roughie Roulette also at $26 for half a unit each way. All right, guys, we'll get to Roughie Roulette later, but I've already given mine out, so it's up to you guys when we get there. And we've also got Lay of the Day later, which we started off really well. All 3 of us got ours to go under, which was an excellent start. So hoping to do that again next week. But first, let's just get into our normal tips, and we'll start with Adam at Rosehill. You've already given us the forecast. Let's get into the tips.
That's it, mate. We won't need any more of the info about the track. We're all over that. So I've just got one bet there. Obviously, we're backing Eduardo. That's one of my bets too. I probably would have been keen on him even if it wasn't in the banter. And I do have my Roughie later. But the other one I'm going to back is in race 2. As I said, Tommy Sherry. I'm keen to follow him. He's got that first winner. I reckon he's going to go on with it. And that's number 4, Royal Banquet, for Nathan Doyle and Tommy Cherry. We know I haven't had much luck with Mr. Doyle, but Saturday's the day. I'm confident this one will get home. it's actually going for 5 in a row, this horse. It's very promising. It's been really well placed by Nathan Doyle, just going through its grades. Last start on a heavy 10 at Warwick Farm, sat just behind the speed and, bolted away, won by over 5 lengths. Again, we're going to have that heavy track, so the surface is very suitable for this horse. Snitzel gelding, we know they love it all the time. From the 4 gate, he maps quite well. He should sit just behind the pace set by horses like Frosty Rocks, Noble Joey, who will go forward and ensure it's run at a decent clip. And I just think he'll be too good. Simple as that. 2 units to win.
2 units to win straight out. And out of a Testarossa mare as well. And they are absolute mudlarks. So hopefully Nathan Doyle can do the job for you this time, hey?
That's it, mate. I just want to say one thing about another horse in this race. I'm not gonna save on him, not gonna back him, but keep your eye on number 6, New King, Matty Dale and J Mac. He's a
Frankel.
He's a Frankel, and he was first up in Australia last start when he was well back and hit the line quite well behind Poetic Charmer. So I don't think this is his day, but I think in the future he could be a good horse. So look out for him.
What's he aimed at? He's usually been over the 2,000 metres over in England, so I'm guessing a Cox Plate.
I don't think he's at that level, mate. I think he'll probably just stay in his grades, and I don't know. He might get up to the better races later in the spring if he progresses, but I'd say he'd be more likely to be picking up the benchmark 80s. A couple of those.
Surely not, because you got James Harron Bloodstock as the owner. You got the Batemans in there, which are Fox Wedge colours. And then you've got Group 1 Racing and Breeding and Qatar Bloodstock. Then it's a stallion, so they definitely want a Group 1 there somewhere.
I'm sure they do in the future, but I think he's a long way below that level. He's been racing in on synthetics in low grade races overseas. So you remember horses back in the day like Glen Cadham Gold and stuff like that. That might be more his level. He might get to like a Metrop or something like that at the end of the
bit of a grinder
if he can get out to 2,400. But he's not a weight for age horse. He'd have to improve a lot to get there, which can happen. We've seen it with horses like Master of Wine and stuff like that. So you never know.
Yep, never know. Best to look out for it, but needs a bit of luck today after a big spell. All right, that's it from you. Royal Banquet Race 2. For $2.50 and 2 units straight out. Thank you very much, Adam. Lee, you're at Flemington this week. There's plenty of rain forecast as well.
Yeah, so it's currently a soft 6, and there's predicted 10 to 20 mil on Friday and Saturday. So not sure where we're going to get to. I've done my form based on around the 7 range, because Flemington's usually pretty good. Usually needs a fair bit of rain to really soften the track, but not sure as to what we can get to. But like I said, 7 around that sort of mark, I think is probably where we're going to be sitting. So got the 2 tips for Saturday. First off, we're going to lead off in race 6, number 5, Great Again. I'm going to hop on him again. I think he's a really good bet at $4.60. So I'm going to put 1.5 units win on him. I'm backing him based on a couple of different things, but I can't fault his prep so far with just the 1 run outside the placings and had excuses in that. Fought really hard in the Bletchley last start and was beaten along the rail by Viridine. His 2 starts up the straight have been fantastic with a win and narrow second. He draws well for the straight 6, back onto wet ground, which is a major tick, and we've spoken about that before. And Bates jumps on, and he won on him first up this prep, so he's 1 for 1. So I just think he gets a few things in his favour, and I'm definitely keen to back up on him again this week.
That's race 6, Great Again. They've pulled Signore Fox out, obviously going to Sydney there, so I'll only give you $4.20 from Sportsbet, if that's okay, Lee.
Yeah,
okay.
No worries. All good.
All right. What else you got, mate?
And then I'm going to go to race 8, number 2, Chicago Cub. Now, when I wrote this down, so we'll double check that this is the right price. I wrote it down at $5.50 and $2.10. So we'll see if it stays at that. But I think this is another really good bet. 1 by 2 units each way I'm going to have on him. He's built a really impressive resume in his career to date. In his last 12 months, have been superb, winning 5 from 9. And I think he can go on with it now. He comes into this first up, but has won 2 from 3 goes first up. And his last 2, he won. The major plus is the Flemington Straight, which he loves, having won 3 from 4. And his only miss was a 4 to Lord Von Costa, who is now a listed winner, having beaten Great Again in the Sprint Series final in his last start. So I think that really reads well. He's won 2 from 3 at the trip, 1 on the heavy, and looks to have upside now into his 4th prep. He will be up close to the speed in what doesn't look to be an overly fast tempo, especially for a 1,000-metre race. And I think he just gets the run of the race, and I think he'll just be a bit too classy for these. And I'm just predicting Octane will probably do a little bit too much wrong, especially up the straight for the first time. Just the sort of horse that likes to throw his head around, likes to look around. He has a tendency to lay in and lay out. So I think Chicago Cub might just have the drop on him, a bit too much experience and a bit too much class up the straight.
Yeah, it has a bit of backing. I'm looking at the best odds now, and it's $5 and $1.90. So I'm cutting you down again, Lee. But 1 unit the win at 2 units a place, and Octane may come up in a later segment, I'm sure. So that's 2 from Flemington. Anything else?
No, that's it, mate.
That's it for Lee at Flemington. I'll go through mine and then we'll go through a bit of a summary after that. I'm in sunny Doomben. However, we're a good 4 currently, but there's due up to 10 mils tomorrow on Friday. So at Doomben, probably expect soft 6, soft 7. Not a super drying track like as Eagle Farm is. And the rail will be at 3 metres. Should be a ripping day. 9 races, some compact fields compared to a couple of months ago. And what I will say is there's a bit of a theme with these tips. Why drop off the winners, I guess, is what we can say. I'm going to start off in race 3, Roman Aureus, $2.45, only for the 1 unit win. He's becoming a bit of a just wins special, this horse. We've had a few in the past. What was that horse, Lee, that we used to tip? Ringo's Rockstar. That's it.
That's it. Yep.
That's the one. We got on that early, and it won a few in a row, and then kept going on with it. And Roman Aureus seems to be that sort of horse at the moment. Tipped him at about that $20 in May and ran 3rd. Backed into about $5 and never missed a place since. I've got him on top, and he's a deserved favourite. However, just having the 1 unit on him, as there's a couple of handy ones in this race, was scratched from an easier Class 3 race, which is a good sign. However, that was over the mile, which I'm unsure at this stage whether he'll get. Trainer might think otherwise. Spanked them in the midweek's last start, and it was encouraging because there was a touch of a leader's bias that day, and it peeled from the probably worse than midfield and just really put them away, which he should have with his class. There's about 4 leaders in this race, so can sit back, smoke the pipe and swoop. Drawn well to do that, handles any sting out, and even luck, he wins. So that's race 3, Roman Aureus at $2.45, just for the 1 unit win. I'm going to go for a race-to-race double with the favourites here, with Roos. Bit of form line around Roman Aureus from a couple back. Roos is $2.25 in this, so nothing to write home about. But I tipped him at Grafton, producing a massive finish to win the Guineas there after running, I think it was 3rd to Roman Aureus to start prior. Then very good last start at Doomben in a driving finish behind Green Jacket and Wapiti, which the boys have tipped at the Sunshine Coast, and is a very good performer against the likes of Eurobell and Stuttering, etc., etc. Sat at the tail that day, and it looked to be a bit of an on-pace favoured race. Only the 1 unit again, because I feel Doomben isn't his best track, and he goes up to 59 kilos. In saying that, though, he is a bit of quality and should be able to position closer from barrier 2 with Frat on and be too good for these. So that's race 4, Roos at $2.25 just for the 1 unit. And you guys probably know what I'm going to tip later in the card. It's race 9, Matty Rocks at $2.50. Yes, I'm tipping 3 favourites. Yes, don't throw it in my face. I've just got to do it. if they all win, then so be it. If they don't, then I'd still get egg in my face anyways. But that's race 9, Matty Rocks at $2.50 for the 1 unit win. Best bet 2 weeks back and delivered very impressively, stepping up against the older mares there and winning with an absolute peach of a ride from Maloney, who sticks. The second horse in that race, Voila, then won again, and All Shiraz ran third and was far from disgrace behind Socialising, only losing by a couple of lengths, I think, and so Socialising is a bit of a star. Maps to get a very similar run to that run in Ipswich, midfield on the rail from barrier 2, and I wouldn't be surprised just with that rain around if Maloney pushes off on the turn and launches down the centre. Has a very good turn of foot, so can overcome that difference. You've got I Dream of Green likely to come out. I feel the only danger is Kyle Lease, who carries a decent weight this week and will most likely get haggled in the lead by Catesby and All Important, who, All Important, I think if this was second up, I'd be given half a chance, but not to be this week. Query again for Matty Rocks is she needs a touch of luck in the straight, like she did last start at Ipswich. And I'm just hoping there's not a ton of rain around, because the more rain there is, the lesser chance she's got. Even though she's a Fastnet Rock out of an Encosta de Lago mare, she just hasn't handled in the past. But you've got to consider that was Sydney grade, which is far superior to this. I think at $2.50 she's rock bottom odds, but again, even luck, I think she wins. So that's the 3 for me at Doomben. We'll go over the summary. Adam, race 2 at Rosehill Royal Banquet, $2.50 straight out at the 2 units. And then we've got Lee at Flemington, race 6, great again, $4.20 for 1.5 units. And race 8, Chicago Cub to beat Octane at $5 and $1.90. And he's having 1 by 2 on that. And I've got three favourites. I know, don't put it in my face. I'm just putting it out there, guys. Race 3, Roman Aureus, $2.45 for a win only, 1 unit win. Race 4, Roos, $2.25 at 1 unit win. And race 9, Matty Rocks, $2.50 for 1 unit win. And I'm sure if you're following these tips, you might put them in a all up. But, yeah, it's up to you. All right, that's the tips from us. Adam, around the grounds, have you got anything?
I do, mate. I don't usually.
Whoa,
I've got one this
out.
week. Hold your horses.
It must be a good one if you are.
Oh, mate, this is a winner. This
Bit
is
of pressure.
best thing in Australia this weekend. We've got race 4, number 2 at Moe. Okay, we've gone to Moe.
Gee whiz.
Race 4, number 2. We've got the half to microphone here, racing for Godolphin with Jared Fry to ride. It's called Choir. And, yeah, it'll just win, stepping up to 2,000 or 2,050 this start. Last start 3 weeks ago, it ran 4th behind the stablemate Alcyone, who we know is a good horse. It was only beaten 3.4 lengths, and it actually was held up slightly in the straight, so probably could have finished closer. But, yeah, the good thing about that run was it kept grinding away, it kept hitting the line, so this extra trip's really suitable. He's got a bit of an awkward gait in 13, but I think that'll actually be suitable because he'll be outside of horses this time. He'll get clear running, and, yeah, he should just be too good for these. It's a weak field. There's only one danger in the race, which is a horse of Mick Kent's that's had 3 starts for 3 placings, but in far inferior grade. So I'm pretty confident this guy will do the job. I don't have a price for him yet. I'm hoping we get above $2, so we're just going to have a unit of win at whatever he comes up at.
Yeah, I was going to say what price he got, but we'll take anything over 2 units just for the 1 unit. $2 I meant just for the 1 unit.
Yes,
Adam?
that'll be great. Thanks, mate.
All right, and you'll be singing all the way to the church after that one. Good one. Just
Good old dad joke.
Just the old dadsy. Just that one at Moe, mate.
Yeah, that was all for me around the grounds, mate. Thank you.
Nothing from Cooney Barabran or anywhere else.
Yeah, do they have races at Coona this weekend, mate? I didn't see that. No.
No. All right, Lee. Give us your Belmont tips.
Yeah, we've got 2, mate, and we're just going to have a win on both of them. So we're going to lead off with race 3, number 4. I happened to be on this, but I didn't give it out as a tip last start, and that's Queen Brown.
Well, that's not good enough, mate. You can't get on it and then not give it out. There's no point pointing that out.
Anyway, yeah. But anyway, like, whatever. $2.30, I'm going to have 1.5 units on her. She looks to have plenty of ability. She was brilliant winning last start by 3.5 and can definitely go on with it now. She only goes up a kilo off that win and drawn to get the run of the race. So hopefully I can see a 1 out, 1 back and in the gun run, just like El Glale last start. Out to 1,400 now is a plus, and Chris Parnham has been riding pretty well of late, so pretty confident that she gets us off to a good start in Perth.
Yeah, and the punters have stepped in already. $2.25 on Bet365 for 1.5 units there. Belmont Race 3, Queen Brown. Next tip, Lee.
Yeah, race 6, number 3, Nero Dio, $4.60. I'm going to have a unit win on him. So I was on this guy last start, and he was really brave, but unlucky, beaten by a good one. He was 3 wide the trip, no cover at the back, and really hit the line well. And was beaten on the inside. So I think you can take plenty of it out of that. He's had a small break between runs, something like 5 weeks now, and a small gear change into this, which I think are both positives. He has an unbelievable record at Belmont, and 1,200 metres is his trip. He should be posted 3 wide the trip from the perfect draw in this, and without a lot of speed, hopefully he can be 1 out and 1 or 2 back and finish over the top.
So that's race 6, number 3, to atone himself for Leah's Nero Dio at $4.60. Just those 2 at Belmont, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Do you know why Pikey's not riding, having a day off?
I think he's just having a bit of a holiday because he hasn't been riding
since
this
last
week.
weekend.
So, yeah, correct. So I think he's just had a bit of time off. He generally does that at the end of each season. So
yeah, fair enough. The bloke boots home enough winners. He needs a rest every now and then. So I'm sure a lot of those Grant and Alana Williams horses with Noski on board will probably be getting laid this week.
I dare say, yeah.
Yeah. For me, around the grounds, I don't have anything. So we have Adam at Moe, race 4, Choir, $2 or above. If there's anything over that, he'll be spanking it for 1 unit. And Lee, Belmont, race 3, Queen Brown for $2.25 for 1.5 units. And race 6, Nero Dio at $4.60. All right, boys, you know what time it is. It's Roughie Roulette. Roughie Roulette
is a very dangerous game, not for the faint of heart. Let us begin.
All right, boys, I can feel it in my loins this week. We are due, and so are the punters out there. I luckily mine got scratched because it stunk. It stunk at the Gold Coast. Different conditions, though. Come on, guys, give me a break. It's a different race, different setup. You know, obviously it was going to go better where I thought it was.
Oh, yeah, in the higher grade.
In the higher grade, yeah. But anyways, let's get into it. Adam, what do you got for us, mate?
It was a big struggle for me this week, mate. I found quite a few under $20 around that $15 mark, but couldn't find anything above 20 until I come across one at 60 to 1, believe it or not. We're going hard. We're going hard. We're going home. And that's it comes up in race 8, number 2, Top Striker. He's just turned 9. He's an old fella. Again, my boy Tommy Sherry has got the ride, so the 3 kilo claim's going to give us a good help there. Hopefully a good ride from Tom. The reason I'm going with this horse, last start he was only beaten 1.5 lengths behind Space Boy, and he was actually a bit unlucky. He didn't get a clear path in the straight. So I'm pretty sure that's good enough form to be better than a 60 to 1 shot in this. I do admit horses like Taylor and probably even Best Stone are going to be tough to beat, but at 60 to 1, I'm pretty keen to have a go each way and hope you can at least run a place. From the gate, they will roll forward, hopefully jag a spot just a bit better than midfield with a bit of cover. And, yeah, hopefully that run last start, he can bring it to the table again and run a good race at that price. I think he's like $14 a place as well, so it's good.
I'll only give you $11 a place, mate. But
they've stolen it in the last hour or so.
They've stolen it, but that would be some feat to tip the punters into a $61 pop and overpowering Tallulah. Mate, while I got you there, Anders is running again on the weekend. I know you've got a big opinion of it. What do you think?
I do have a big opinion, but I also have a big opinion of Kamasi as well. I thought Anders, I couldn't knock him, and I wouldn't talk anyone out of it. But I just think it's a tough race. And the thing about Anders too, even though I do like him, and he won that race for us at his last start before he went for a spell. That was in a lot lower grade, whereas a horse like Kamasi was racing against the better 2-year-olds. So whether he can measure up, I'm going to bet he'll be there in the end. But I just wasn't confident enough to tip him to win.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, geez, Kamasi. What was it aimed at last start in as a 2-year-old, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they were a bit late with the prep because they didn't start till March, and they did run a slipper lead up, and he ran second to Prague. But
in a Pago. Yep.
Yeah, didn't quite make it.
Yep, plenty of ability. That horse, fair enough. That's Sydney race 8 for Adam, top striker at $61. That'll be excellent for the bank balance. Lee, mate, what have you got? $20 or over?
I was similar to Adzi this week. I found it really hard. I had about 5 looks at every race in Melbourne. I found the only one that I was even closely into was at $19. So I didn't want to do a just wins at the start and then disqualify myself from the start. So I ventured over west, and I think I found one that can definitely run a race for us. So I'm going to go Belmont race 1, number 8, Yankee Lima. So it's $20 and $5 a place. I'm just forgetting his first start. He was well backed off nice trials into $1.70 and ended up just over racing and didn't do everything right and ended up finishing 6th. But I feel that it can be a bit of improvement out of that. He's had a 3-week break now. I think the race experience will be a big plus. And then back to 1,000 metres should suit. He draws well and should be up on speed or close to speed, and hopefully just gives us a big sight out in front. So let's get on him.
Let's get on him at $20 and $5 a place for half a unit each way. And guys, as you know, I said earlier in the Group 2 Missile Stakes, Cascadian for me at $26 and $6 each way. All right, boys, that's it for Roughie Roulette for another week. And thanks very much for everyone out there that continually chucks in their tips, gives us a bit of banter and some feedback, and gets online with those polls. We really want someone to jag one of those. Yeah, get a winner, get one of those $20 pops ups. So keep throwing in there, because there's been a few close ones, and you never know. Saturday might be the day with all the weather around, and a bit of a roughie could slide up on the outside rail, outside fence, and win quite well. Boys, anything to wrap up on?
Lay of the day.
Oh, do you want to do that, mate?
Yeah.
All right.
We're doing lay of the day, aren't we?
Okay, mate. All right.
He didn't make that awesome jingle for nothing.
That's right. All right. Run the jingle.
What? Did we just
Start a new segment?
Yup. You want to go
Play some favourites in the podcast.
Yup.
All right, lay of the day. How good's that jingle, everyone out there? If you don't like Step Brothers, you're not our mates. Anyways, kidding yourself. Let's get into it. Adam, what are you laying at Rosehill? Sorry.
So I promised everyone I'd have a better go this week, and I've found one that's much better than my $5.50 I laid last week with Lubuck. And
that stinks.
But I'm following the same method as I did last week. I've gone in race 1, and I'm laying a Waller horse, and that horse is number 2, the favourite, Dancing Gidget. It's got J-Mac on, and it's been going really well. It is going for 4 in a row this mare. Not many horses can win 4 in a row, and I feel this race is a little bit tougher this week than what she won last start. She beat Papa Warrior last start, and he's racing again, but gets a good weight swing on her. And yeah, there's not going to be a lot of speed in this. I think Vienna Rain will go forward and lead and run them along at just a moderate tempo. And I do think if they are running on, I think the horse that'll get over the top of them is Montefilia, a really promising 3-year-old filly. So I'm pretty confident that Dancing Gidget will not get the job done. So that's who I'm going to be laying this week.
All right, that's race 1, Dancing Gidget. Mate, the only thing I've got against that is Montefilia. They scratched her last week because of a wet track.
Yeah, that's your good point. If it does get to obviously a heavy 10, ridiculous heavy. They might pull the pin on her again. But I also think that decision last week had a lot to do with the perceived track bias. I think they just, because they knew she was getting back, they thought, nah, we're not going to run her. Because the start prior, she did race on a heavy track and ran really well. So I think she can handle it if they have to race her on it.
Yeah, fair enough. Hopefully she's in there and gives Dancing Gidget something else to catch. All right, that's race 1. We're laying off. If you guys don't know what laying is, it's pretty much being the bookie. We want that horse to lose, and we'll make whatever money you put on her. We're doing $100 a week, so Dancing Gidget there at $3.25. Our liability would be $325, and if it loses, we pocket the $100 you give us. So that's a good little definition for you guys out there. Hopefully that helps. It's hard to get your head around to start with, but looking for those lays in the future will help you, hopefully, with your punting success. Lee, what have you got at Flemington?
All right, I messaged you guys earlier about laying something in a race I was going to tip in. It's not the one that you're thinking of, so I haven't ended up tipping anything in the race that I'm going to lay this. And I'm going to go down the similar route as Adzi. I'm actually going to lay a Waller horse, and not often I would do this. So going in race 7, number 5, Skyman at $2.90. He was impressive winning first up in Oz, but I think the margin was really flattering on that occasion. It was about 2.25 lengths, but he had a heap of luck being able to get to the outside relatively easily. And both De Niro and Heavenly Emperor were really unlucky, especially De Niro just had absolutely no run, and it probably would have won. It was bolting. So yeah, I just think you can rule line sort of through De Niro's run and have it closer to Skyman. Based on that, out to 2,000 metres is a bonus for Skyman, but I feel that can also be applied to plenty of others in this field. There looks to be a bit more depth in this and plenty of winning chances, including 2 others of Waller's that can knock him off. Also think his wet form is only average, and a few others will find a few links in the wet. Also, second up syndrome, as I've talked to you.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
I think he'll be winning races in the future. I just feel he just looks a bit vulnerable in this, so I'm happy to take him on at that price.
Yep, that's fair enough. Flemington race 7, Skyman at $2.90. That's a nice shorty for you. At Doomben, I'm laying Golan horse, race 6, La Palmiere at $2.35. This time last year, this horse would have been smoking hot in price, considering he won the winning Rupert, which is a Group 3, then ran only 5.5 lengths behind Alligator Blood. That run, I think, behind Alligator Blood may have broken him. He only managed a third in a midweek, and he ran 3 times that Saturday grade and went no good. First up here since April, drawn wide with pace inside, doesn't really help you at Doomben. Has a tendency to over-race, so the stable have taken the blinkers off for this assignment to try and settle him down. Other races, he has only been fairly away, and as I said, at Doomben from a wide gate, even though the field isn't top line Saturday grade, if you're doing those things wrong off a long break at $2.35, you could run it into a bit of trouble. There's a couple of good horses inside. There's Man in Motion, which beat a good horse last start, Adam.
Yes, he did. Mate. That form with a horse who runs second is tremendous. Horses like Love You Lucy to come from that form line, so it'll be hard to beat.
It actually, if it runs that distance, it'll be a good chance with a snug run. And I think there's Say Higher as well. I think it's Say Higher. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. Royal Hail, that's the one. Same horse. Royal Hail, who's a good chance as well. So I just think, on that tight track with a bit against it, $2.35. I can see the bookies buttering up there, and hopefully we all get a result. So, Adam, you thought you were going well, but you still laid the longest price favourite.
Oh, can't win, can I?
No, but as long as it doesn't win, then you will win.
At least it's a favourite. That's all I'll say.
That's it. He's laying race 1 at Rosehill. Dancing Gidget for $3.25. Lee's laying Skyman in race 7 at Flemington for $2.90, and I've gone the hero call with La Palmiere at $2.35. in race 6 at Doomben. Heroes only get so far, but let's hope. All right, guys, that's it, I'm pretty sure. Is that right, Lee?
Yeah, I think so, mate.
All right, good to know. Wrap up as usual. Anything you guys want to say, Adam?
No, nothing from me, mate. Good luck to everyone.
All right, Lee, anything?
No, same as Adzi. Good luck, everyone. Let's go.
All right, guys, let's go. Let's get on to those polls. Give us a shout out in the DMs, and let's get some winners up. Good luck, everybody, for Saturday the 8th. Let's get on to it. Cheers, boys.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and get involved in the comments. Best of luck and happy punting.
Can he do it? Chautauqua, he's flying! Yes! There's history!
But a champion becomes a legend. McCartney has won it. The pride of Australia is the greatest show on earth.